shies away from it, but even he has picked up a little bit more recently. It's just such a safe pick if you're in the right hands of a very skilled AD carry. And it's also really good if you... Ezreal is so oppressive when you have a matchup like this where you just outrange, because your support can just set up your Qs, and that's what we're seeing here is Canyon's going to show up at level 4. Delight, half health, has to heal.
Yep, heal going to come through immediately as there is the Eclipse. They do just decide to go in on the Leona though, and that was after it wore off. Duro tanks the turret absolutely beautifully. And Viper just...
Ruler just generating a bigger lead here, and we've seen in so many of these games what he can do with even a small lead.
Yeah, this is the problem though, because we need POM to go to Duro.
I know.
And that's going to be more and more difficult unless he can make something happen here. There it is, Keen picking up the second kill for Gen.G.
Justice for supports.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's Ruler happily pushing wave after wave into Zeus. Fair bit of extra damage there as Duro does make his way back down again. Shattering Strike going to connect, but Zeus still able to get the cannon minion.
Just Shattering Strike and the Ruler Qs like every time. Ruler also just hits all of his Qs anyways, but...
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't even need you to be here, Duro. Like, what are you doing? Well, Canyon's gonna dive.
Yeah, they're looking for the angle here. Public execution might actually just be Zeus as Ruler walking on past the turret. The last minion does go down. And does he have the Arcane Shift? The answer is he does not need it. As Delight turns up and he's like, well, what am I supposed to do now?
Group to correct myself, because you generate a small lead in a lane, especially the bottom lane, and then you just play through it. And all three of these AD carries, and like all three supports as well, will just bowl you over. Does not miss, man.
Yeah, just walks on past him.
Like Zeus is trying to sidestep, he's like, I'll just auto you.
Yeah. Well, now we've got a cease and desist onto Canyon. He's got the Crescent Guard, but unfortunately everyone's in melee range, so he is just dead. One kill on the board here for HLE. No more perfect game for Gen.G this time, as True Shot Barrage does find a bit of damage onto Peanut. These grubs under fire. HLE will be able to lock down the second one as Arcane Shift out there from Ruler. Does miss that Mystic Shot onto Viper though, and now Peanut will be able to secure the third one. So there's something. Immediately, 4 members towards his top side as we do have the Aurora rotating up as well. As Chovy going to get there, they can just Realm Warp underneath this turret. That is going to allow them to defend. 4-man strong. Cleanse comes out from Viper as the Rune Prison comes in.
The whole time, Ruler is getting a whole turret, by the way. Like, single plate gold going over to him.
Keep him busy, guys.
Yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. We are so close to September. It has to be the case.
Yeah, just a few weeks away.
Yep. Zeus having to deal with the Gully Wall once again, but Keen now in trouble as Peanut turns up. A cheeky little punch towards the Gully Wall as the Maiden was actually being very annoying to Zeus as Keen keeps himself alive for a lot longer than I think a lot of us expected, but still will be going down.
Oh, look at where Zeka's like, okay, well, they're going to come get me. They want this first turret so badly. They're on Dragon. Like, do I have time? You can see he was like, not sure. Can I defend this? And they're going to try to rush the light over, but he is just going to have to leave.
Yep, there's
they're racing for it,
that I was talking about. That's fantastic. Zeka does do a little bit of damage to Duro, but he's pretty durable.
So close.
Oh, who's going to be able to get it here? As it does go over to HLE.
That's massive, actually.
Yeah, only cowards don't just press R on a potentially occupied brush. And now Keen doesn't know that there is no ult. So he's going to be like, why isn't he ulting me as they put him in the goal? I mean, Keen is really dead. Peanut is going to take a little bit of damage, but otherwise not too much to worry about. Down he will go. Meanwhile, Delight could be in a bit of trouble here. Featherstorm comes out as Duro could also be getting amongst it. True Shot Barrage is going to connect, but it's actually Canyon that takes down the Leona. So a very Rise group. Maybe you were just foreshadowing.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. As Chovy, you got to be careful, man.
Yep, he does have Flash, and he is going to use it, but the flash forward from Zeus to follow is going to mean another dead Rise, and this 1-2 punch.
Kill Herald, and they can try to turn off of this, as there is a TP for Zeka as well. He's going to use it right away.
Yep, Canyon going to dive in, as Peanut also immediately throws down the ulti onto the Xin Zhao. Public Execution connects onto him as well, but Canyon was surviving for such a long time, but still, these health bars are melting! Ruler has to get over the wall, as unfortunately, Duro not going to be able to do anything here, and the Rift Herald does go over at the same time. It's picked up by Zeka of all people.
A larger swing of gold now for the side of Hanwha Life, and they may even be able to get an additional charge here with the late respawns. They'll think better of it. They'll decide to just let it go through. Light comes in and helps Peel. Look at Viper, just free hitting, taking Keen out, and Ruler has to get out of the pit.
Oh dear. Well, Chovy is between some worlds, as we can see, trying to phase rush his way out. We'll see whether that will allow him to escape, and I think the answer is it just won't. As Death is a pretty good form of CC.
Yeah,
pretty good for giving some extra information over to Gen.G, but it will just allow them to be spectators.
I mean, look at Zeus. He's like, are they going to try something here? And he's like, oh, I guess not. Nope.
Then he just walks out. Is going to get started up. Immediately is spotted here by Gen.G, who are in the vicinity of this one.
There's that TP from Chovy, but he's late.
Yeah, a lot of buttons available here. Shield of Daybreak does come on through, and down goes the Rise. Oh man, welcome to the party, Chovy. Maybe you didn't really want to be here. As Canyon will see whether he can actually be in position to get a smite down as the feathers are in position. Canyon gets on in. There is a great crescent guard, but Peanut finds the smite this time around the goalie wall. Actually getting some work done as Delight still keeping himself alive. And yeah, Ruler is doing a fair bit of damage, but unfortunately it's not quite meaningful. And Zeka finds the back line. Ruler Arcane shifting to try and escape, and unfortunately even with all that damage, he is still dead. A clean ace for HLE.
It looks like HLE are primed.
HLE probably
Chovy dead again, question mark?
Yeah, Zeus is going to chase after him. There's a public execution. And Chovy just going to see whether he can realm warp his way out. And he does manage to do so. Very, very nicely done.
That's pretty big for Hanwha Life. Just with that alone, the Rise can't show up. And there's no cross-map opportunity. Well, that was, frankly, a little bit close for comfort.
Ignore the CS numbers. I don't think that's super relevant here, as Zeka now finally does have a gold advantage despite it. As Peanut, possible engage option, but the Solar Flare going to be avoided by Ruler. Cease and Desist does come in, and the exhaust is down as well. Chovy moves over, wants to do some of the damage, and Ruler stays alive for quite some time. Still, it doesn't matter. The bottom lane is still obliterated, and Keen a little late to the party.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much fancy footwork you've got, doesn't matter how quick he does have flash, but I don't know if he really wants to risk it for this one, and Zeka's just going to check just in case. Realm Warp?
It is a Realm Warp opportunity, as Canyon's like, nah, brother, I don't really feel like doing that. They do dive in on top of Zeka. They find the Aurora. It's a lot of damage as Peanut likely to get wiped out, and there's a teleport back in from Duro, but now Viper has found his target. The triple kill as soon as he flashes over. And Delight is now just keeping this Baron interested. Duro doesn't have a smite at the ready or any funny business like that, so it will just be the Baron secured. Delight almost falling, but does have the Eclipse.
The situation was so funny.
And just doesn't get the information that he wants to be able to actually use it for what it was designed for. As Zeka just wanders past this turret and says, no, Gen.G, this is ours. And it absolutely is.
And Chovy gets a little bit of push on the top side, but here's an engage.
Yeah, Magnus Storm to come on through there. As a public execution down on just Duro is not something that Duro really cares about. Let's see whether Zeus can survive. That's 11 dashes that he's used so far. Rune Prison not going to be dashed out of this time around though, as Gen.G I think should be able to take that one. Still, Cease and Desist.
Wait a minute.
Does come on through. There's Between Worlds as Ruler desperately trying to keep himself alive, but it does not work. Down goes the Ezreal. Peanut survives for just about forever. And Chovy's like, all right, well, I guess that's enough work that I've done here today as HLE clean up the rest.
Freak's like, all right, I'm removing that item from the game. Sundered Sky Prox, he's getting in that fight. He's so fed. He has Sterex. And he's just like, I can go on this, by the way. And the rest of the team follows up. Zeka's got his ult. And Hanwha Life turned what looked like maybe a good catch from Gen.G into a potential team fight win into a complete wash. Chovy lives, but I don't think he alone will be able to stop these inhibitors from being ripped off the map. And Hanwha Life with Baron for 45 seconds more could get even more if anyone from Gen.G steps too far over the line here. And they're angling for it. They can get just a single kill. They could end, but they don't have to. They'll be happy with the 2 inhibs. Come up empty, let's say. It's gotten them out of a few sticky situations. It hasn't really given them too many proactive wins. They had like the turret defense topside with it as well, but they've just been behind the 8 ball for all of this game, and that's not where Arise wants to be.
And as you can see in this gold graph as well, it has been all HLE ever since the mid-game. Have grabbed control and they have not given it up. And it's for Viper, who does have a cheeky Last Whisper as well as those first 3 items. This Xayah is so frightening. 2 levels ahead as well as Solar Flare going to just connect on the edge towards Canyon. Otherwise, not too much more going to happen. There's the engage onto Delight. But he is so deceptively tanky, it's ludicrous. Takes down Canyon. Peanut able to grab kill credit for that. And now Gen.G down a member. Let's see what can happen here. Oh my goodness, it's a blender. Into the bloodbath they go as Viper free hitting. Takes down the Yorick. And it's another kill for Peanut there at the same time. Chovy just watching as his Nexus turrets get obliterated. Let's see what he can do. I don't think it's anything at all. Instead, they're going to be preparing for a Game 3 against HLE here in the Legend group. And maybe there's finally a new contender for that top 3 spot.
This is so important.